They're bad. They're bad.
Yeah, they are.
For a lot of football, they are bad. But then they have this magical ability to make plays. And whenever it came down to it at the end, they get the ball back to potentially go down and drive and win the game with a touchdown. I think everybody watching was like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Russell Wilson's going to march down the field, and he's going to score a touchdown here with a guy that none of us have heard of. I mean, Tyler Lockett, I guess we've heard of. He's their number one. But then Hollister guy, when did we hear of him? This year, I guess? Well, the last time they had primetime television, that's it. So they have nobody basically on their team, and they just march right down the field against a great defense in the San Francisco 49ers. Now, they get a 1st and goal on the half-inch line, the inch line, and they spike it. Instead of trying to ram one up in there, they spike it. Okay, wasted down. Now, you have Marshawn Lynch on your team all of a sudden. Did he look great? I do serve a tequila weekend.
I thought he looked great.
His first run there where he jumped into the back of his own guy looked spry, looked like he still had it. And if you saw the first play he was in, it was a play-action play where he ran off to the left. He tried to hit somebody. You could tell he wanted to, hit somebody again just to, see what it was like. Because when you're out of it for 14 months, I assume that's a little bit of a different animal. Marshawn Lynch gets back in there. He gets on the goal line earlier in the game, has a massive leap for a touchdown. I mean, a lot of things happen for Marshawn Lynch. Now, you get in the same a situation that I assume came up during negotiations on whether Marshawn was going to come back or not. Hey, coach, we're on the 1, we're on the half-yard line, whatever. Are we running this thing or are we throwing it? We'll run it for you, coach. Chewing his gum. We'll run it. They get into a situation there with a 2nd and goal on the inch line to win the game, to lock up the number 1 seed for the Green Bay Packers and a bye. And what happens? A delay of game? How does a delay of game happen right there? How does a delay of game happen with Russell Wilson, who by all accounts is a very intelligent quarterback? Schottenheimer is a very experienced offensive coordinator. He was with us at the Colts, very good guy. Pete Carroll, everything. How do you get a delayed game in that situation with the season? A lot on the line there. They get a delayed game, they back it up. They almost still win. Alberto Riveron finishes the season in the same exact fashion as he started it. Just a complete cluster all over the place. Nobody knows the rules. They put a rule in last year because of something very similar to this. They refused to abide by it early in the year. Now the last game of the decade in the NFL, they refuse to abide by the rule. I mean, it's just one of those things where the Seattle Seahawks definitely shot themselves in the foot at the end of the game with the delayed game. Alberto Riveron definitely helped them out in screwing them out of that win. Well, hello there. Utilize the promo code PAYTHEBILLS and get $20 off your first order from SeatGeek. Now, back to the magic. The Seahawks and Greenlaw, I believe his name is, with one of the biggest hits I've seen in football. And now we have an NFC lineup that nobody could have expected. That was an 1/8 of an inch away, completely different lineup. And now the playoffs are about to be an electric one.
I mean, the delay of game was egregious because you almost had another 30 seconds to figure out what play you're calling because you didn't run anything on first down because you spiked it. Not having, like you said, if you would have just on that and if you would have hurried up and instead of spiking, just quarterback sneak it, he's probably in.
You're on an inch line. You're on the inch line. I don't understand. I mean, I guess spike it gives you time to think and figure it out, which is okay. I mean, everybody does their things differently. But the fact you get a delayed game after that, it makes no sense. It's almost like they thought they took a timeout.
Yeah.
It's almost like
that's what it felt like.
They thought they took a timeout. Because I wasn't even thinking about it either. I don't even think I looked at the play clock until I saw the flag go down. I was like, is this they're like delay game? I'm like, that is like a Freddie Kitchens Cleveland Browns move. Yeah. That's what that was. That was like a Cleveland Browns mishandled, misoperated, bad football team operation. Instead, it's the Seattle Seahawks. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not what you guys do, except for in the Super Bowl when you decide to throw it instead of running.
And how often during the week do teams practice goal line? A lot. Like, I'm sure there's a little section on their play sheet, too, for goal line. If you're on the 1 yard line, call these plays.
Now, to their defense, they just got Marshawn Lynch, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably weren't as, ready to go on a goal line to have Marshawn Lynch just go in there. Marshawn had his hat on, by the way, because he hadn't learned a 2-minute offense. I don't know, because the 2-minute offense is a completely different offense than the regular offense. Now, granted, I think the Seahawks should be running tempo 2-minute offense at all times. I think that's when Russell Wilson really shines because he has the ability to pick apart a defense who can't sub in, sub out, get an entire read, and their offense is just playing as opposed to overthinking. It doesn't make sense to me that they don't run tempo all the time, and granted, that's why I'm not an offense coordinator. I think the Seahawks do a lot better with tempo, but Marshawn Lynch was on the sideline with his beanie on. It was almost like they told him, like, hey, you don't know the 2-minute offense. This is all you had to know. Now just take your time. You're off. And then as soon as it gets down the goal line, somebody had to be like, yo, Marshawn, find your helmet. You're back in. And I think that should have been something that was in. Like, hey, if we get on the goal line, we got Marshawn Lynch here. Literally, beast mode is his name. We just flood him in here. It's over. There shouldn't have even been a thought there. It should have been just like, as soon as you get it, let's go. It was very interesting to me. I just thought it was mishandled.